Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast. My name is Turn-Based TJ, aka TJ, aka TJ, and I'm joined by my co-host, uh, Enigma 9011, aka Bret, who is breathtaking, amazing, stunning, outstanding, astonishing, awe-inspiring, stupendous, staggering, extraordinary, incredible, unbelievable, and magnificent.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Hi.
glad to have you, Bret. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. It's nice and warm in North Carolina. It's kind of hot, like you were alluding to last episode. So finally, the heat finally came. You
Yeah.
wished it upon me.
There we
Yeah.
go. Good. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, it's getting warmer here, too. We've dealt with a lot of rain this past week, which, definitely prefer that over the snow. So spring is finally sprung. Thank God. Winter's nice to look at, but I just hate dealing with it. The cold and everything. Ugh.
Yeah, spring is finally sprung right before Easter because we're recording this the day before Easter.
Yep.
Just spoiler alert. So if you're watching this, Easter's already happened. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Bunny Day.
Yeah, happy post Bunny Day. You think it's weird that never mind, we're not going to get into Easter
We
stuff.
can.
This is this is a Relatively Gaming podcast where we talk about all things relatively gaming. We do a little bit of news, what we've been playing. We do a dreaded mystery section, and then we just talk about a future game, what we're excited about, what fuels our passion. So we'll jump right into the news. Bret, what do you have for us news-wise today?
Not too much this week in terms of like big stuff, at least on my end. Some quick updates on some games that we have talked about in the past couple of weeks. One we talked about last week with our PAX episode, Fishbowl, the demo I played that I kind of cried on the show floor about, is out actually in full now. It launched over on Steam and PlayStation 5 this week, so just want to give them a shout. Congrats on the 1.0 launch, and please go support them.
Nice.
Also, from our Steam Next Fest demo, I talked about Raccoin, which was like the coin pusher raccoon game.
Yeah.
That also launched this week, and congrats to the team there. They sold 100,000 copies in 24 hours. So yeah, congrats to them. I am one of those happy customers, and I have been playing a little bit more and having a great time with that. So congrats to that team as well.
Fantastic.
Gamers are being gamers. Shocker. This comes from Rebecca Valentine over at IGN. Quote, any update is a bonus, not a right, unquote, says Peak Dev in response to lazy dev cycle accusations. Jesus Christ. The developer of 2025 surprise indie, oh god, I hate this term, Friend Slop, Darling Peak is asking players to be a little more gracious to the studio when requesting updates. In response to a tweet saying developer Landfall has a quote-unquote lazy dev cycle. Landfall's official account clapped back saying, neither us or co-developer AgroCrab are live service studios. Any update is a bonus, not a right. This sparked via Games Radar. The original offending tweet is no longer visible, which reports that this comes in the wake of Landfall Day, Landfall's annual bevy of announcements on April 1st, during which an exceedingly silly April Fool's Day feature that has players kicking each other off mountains instead of helping them climb up was revealed. While most replies are excited about this, the inciting reply was less than thrilled, saying, y'all are mad at Landfall for not releasing a game. I'm mad at Landfall for their lazy dev cycle for Peak when they could be doing so much more with it considering they're ending development of it this year, they wrote. In response, Landfall's official account did not hold back. Good for them. That's me. Quote, Peak has had so many updates, though. Neither us nor AgroCrab are live service studios. Any update is a bonus, not a right, unquote. They wrote in a direct response. Another reply complained similarly, but why? It's an online game for $10. It would be so nice to get a few new biomes or features. That's how the gaming industry works these days. To which Landfall said, we have done a lot of updates with biomes and features, heart face emoji, and we have at least one more. The industry used to be no updates, just release as it is. We have gone way beyond that. So yeah, I just wanted to give this a, highlight, because yeah, that like there's good side of gaming and then there's the bad side of gaming, obviously, just like any kind of fandom. It's just like, guys, relax. Like, I get it, when you love something you want more of it, but not everything, has to be this live service where there's just constant push. Like sometimes you launch something and you don't have plans for an expansion afterwards because you don't know what's going to catch fire. Like obviously Peak was something that did catch fire, so maybe they went, oh, here's an influx of interest and money. We can put those resources into that, and they've put out these updates for completely free. It's not DLC that you have to buy post-launch. And yeah, it's just baffling that like there was all that negativity around it, like, ooh, well, why can't you do more type of thing. So good on the team for clapping back, as the article said, but at least standing up for themselves and being like, hey, like, we get you, but you gotta understand where we're coming from type thing.
Yeah, and also I have Peak installed on my computer currently. Let me just double check that I'm not lying right now. Yeah, there's Peak. And I constantly in my queue for Steam have Peak updates.
Yeah.
Maybe once a week or once every other week. It's seriously that consistent. So to say that they're not doing anything or not doing enough is frankly ridiculous, because they are constantly updating that game to the point where I'm like, should I uninstall this game because they're updating it so much and it kind of annoys me that I have to download it every week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I've left it just in case a quick game sprites up and I don't have to be like, let me download it.
Sure.
So I've kept it on the computer, but yeah. Just saying that they definitely have been putting the effort into Peak. I can see it at least on my end of how much they're updating, because I'm a big proponent of, even if you're not updating content, just like updating stability and stuff like that is a lot of work for devs, and I think that's a big that's a nothing to sneeze at, I should say.
For sure. Moving over to my next article, also from IGN. This come from Wesleyan Pool. Oh boy, I apologize for acronyms. USPTO rejects Nintendo's controversial summon character and let it fight Pokemon patent for non-final ruling as Palworld legal battle rumbles on. Still a long way to go, the article says. The USPTO has rejected Nintendo's controversial summon character and let it fight Pokemon patent after it was heavily criticized by IP lawyers last year. In November, the director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO, excuse me, cat, ordered a re-examination of the patent after IP lawyers had criticized the U.S. patent system and the USPTO for awarding it. At the time, IP expert Florian Mueller took to social media saying Nintendo, quote-unquote, should never have received a summon character and let it fight patent in the first place, while video game patent lawyer Kirk Sigmund told PC Gamer these claims were in no way allowable. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are currently embroiled in ongoing litigation with Pocket Pair's Palworld in Japan, and patents are at the heart of the lawsuit. This particular patent sums up how Pokemon games work in that you summon Pokemon to battle other Pokemon in hope of adding them to your collection. But it was pointed out last year there are countless other games that use similar mechanics, such as Persona, Digimon, and even Elden Ring, depending upon how the patent is interpreted. Games Fray reported that the USPTO rejected all claims of the patent in question based on prior art references in form of published U.S. patent applications. Games Fray said 2 of those earlier patent applications were filed by Nintendo itself, and 1 each by Konami and Bandai Namco. It's worth noting that this rejection is non-final, so there's a long way to go before I have a new mustache, before Nintendo accepts the decision. It may appeal, for example, which would drag this out even longer, but that will be of most importance, is its potential impact on the lawsuit with Pocket Pair, which has gone quiet since October of last year. So yeah, interesting development there. Just figured I'd give people an update on what's going on with Pokemon and Palworld. Interesting. TJ, you got anything?
No, I just need to try Palworld, I think, is the is the thing. But also, like I said, they mentioned Persona, but Shin Megami Tensei itself predates Pokemon and definitely has the capturing mechanic. So, yeah, it was just erroneous to begin with. It shouldn't have even been considered, like that one lawyer said. He was absolutely correct. And yeah, Palworld's only $30, so maybe it's calling my name. I don't like the survival aspects of the game.
Sure.
That's why I haven't jumped on. I'm not a big survival gamer at all. I don't really enjoy doing that. But maybe if I give a Pikachu a gun, it'll help me feel better. So
Yeah, I think I'm on a similar vein with you because I remember when it first launched, I checked it out and watched some other streamers play it because I was like, oh, like a lot of things that streaming community, something happens, fire, boop, and then we drop it.
yeah,
Everybody was checking it out, so I decided to watch it, and I did not expect at least the amount of survival mechanics. Like, you're kind of like cavemen almost, and like building these log cabins and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is not at all what I was expecting with this game. So like the creatures look cool, and yeah, there's a lot of very similar looking ones. But in terms of gameplay, I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's for me. Like, not that obviously I don't enjoy the survival games from time to time, but I was just like, nah, I don't know if this clicks with me. So I don't know if I'll ever check it out, but it seems like Power World's been keeping up and succeeding, and like we just talked about with updates, like constantly doing newer stuff. Like they got their arena type battler, and I think there's some other new game mode that they announced recently that's another very similar to Pokemon type thing. I'm like, ooh, you guys are just keep pushing this button. But yeah, it seems like they got their audience and they've been sticking around, so I mean, good for them.
yeah. I thought the game would have fizzled out by now, but
Sure.
yeah, you said it's sticking around. It's got some staying power. So
Yeah,
yeah, Power World is like actually a name in the gaming industry now.
seems
And
like
especially, I think Nintendo did the Streisand effect a little bit, where they were like, Power World, nobody play it, it's bad. And by suing them and stuff, they kind of like elevated the status of Power World a little bit, where it's like people are like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check it out. Yeah, they kind of had the opposite of their intended effect.
definitely. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and if anything comes out of it. But for the time being, we're in the clear. Next one, short one. Super Mario Galaxy movie dropped this week as of recording. You are seeing it tomorrow?
I was going to see it, but now I'm going to see a different movie with a different person.
Fair enough. Okay. I saw it last night as of recording. So reviews right now among the professionals, mixed. I had fun with it. It was fine. It's a solid, okay movie. I don't know if it's as good as, excuse me, the original, but the original also had that new factor, you know, so
Yeah.
it's got that new shine to it. So like most sequels, it's kind of coming in with, what do you call it? Expectations, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I think it's a solid fine. It's ultimately aimed towards kids. So yeah, no, it's not going to have the most dramatic of stories or in-depth of stories type of thing. I think it's fun. I'm not obviously going to talk about any spoilers here or anything like that. That would be rude. But I think it's a fun time. I recommend people still go to it. There's still a lot of fun Easter eggs that you can kind of search for, whether it is more obvious ones that they plant more firmly in the front, or there's things you can kind of search for. And I think there's some fun surprises too. I will just say this, if you or any of the audience does go see it and you're into post-credit scenes, there are 2. So please make sure you stay and wait through the entire credit sequence so you get all of that. So yeah.
Yeah, I have it pulled up on Metacritic right here because I have another Mario story in my news heap, and yeah, the Metacritic score for the critics, the professional critics, like you were saying in quotations, is a 36. So not very good. It's in the red. But if you look at the user score, people who just use the websites, it's generally favorable with a 7.8 in the green. So I feel like it's one of those movies where just the critics may not like it at all, but the fans really do. Or just the people who watch, not even the fans, but the general audience who watches the movie, you know?
Yeah. I have who am I to judge? Because we're all allowed our own opinions and stuff like that. And obviously critics, this is their job to critique these things. I could never imagine doing something like that, or at least to that extent, where there's a lot of just like, it's fine. Like, I don't have like a strong opinion either way of like, oh, don't see this thing, or you need to go see this thing. Like, I feel like I've only had a visceral reaction of like, oh, this was awful, or I am feeling bad about experiencing something, maybe a handful of times. Like, I wasn't upset walking out of this movie. And like,
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Ugh.
oh really? Because I liked that one. I enjoyed it.
Oh no, that movie made me. I almost cried.
That's fair.
I almost...
That's fair. Yeah, I think in terms of like movie going experiences, the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender, that was one. And then a very odd one, but I'm blanking on the movie name. It was kind of like Paul Blart Mall Cop, but it was like an adult version with Seth Rogen. I'm blanking on the name of it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, though. I have seen
Thank
that
you.
movie, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just haven't seen. I just don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, so I think those are probably the only two movie going experiences I can think of like where I was actively angry leaving the movie. Like, even if it's something we talked about off podcast, but that Keanu Reeves movie that came out recently, him,
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, and like,
Good Fortune, yeah.
Thank you, Good Fortune. Yeah, like, I was like a little bummed by it just because like I felt like I was expecting more going into it, but then you had a fantastic time with it, which is great, and I'm glad you did. But yeah, even that, I'm not like, oh, I hate this movie. It's just like, it didn't fully click. So when people are critiquing the Mario movie so strongly, I'm like, I guess I don't like. You have to kind of put it into perspective in a way too, of like, it's a weird thing with like nostalgia for us. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. We being older, like Mario, we grew up with Mario, and like our parents did before us, or like, you know, people slightly older than us. Like, you grew up with something, so you go into this and it's like, I do this often a lot too. You go into something that they've made and you're like, oh, this is for me because I grew up with it, type thing. But ultimately it's not. Like, this is targeted towards kids. So you have to put it in some sort of perspective. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a lot for the older audience, like I said, with like all the Easter eggs and like characters you can point out and like references and whatnot. They try and, I don't know if fan service is the right terminology for this, but they try and give that to those long-term fans. But like, when it comes down to it, the narrative, everything here is kid-based, you know? Like, you gotta give it some kind of grace, or like just realize that yourself. But also, I get it. It's their job. They're supposed to just pick it from a professional standpoint, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's just weird for me to read. I'm like, all right, calm down. It's not...
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't want to be analogy man and just keep using analogies, because I did that with battle royales and extraction shooters last week, and I'm going to do it again this week with extraction shooters again. But an analogy I like to use with Nintendo is the Disney of video games. And if we're going to use that analogy, the Mario is absolutely the fucking Mickey Mouse of Nintendo. And just because you grew up with Mickey Mouse doesn't mean you're going to want to watch Mickey Mouse's Playhouse or whatever the fuck the show is, where it's like, for little kids, it's like, that's for children. Even though you grew up with Mickey Mouse, I feel like the same thing with Mario. It's like, even though you grew up with it, it's for children still, ultimately.
Right, and that's the same. Oh, we are really going on a tangent here, and I apologize. But like, going off of Disney, it's the same thing. Like, I know these live action remakes haven't been for everybody, right? Everybody, or a lot of the general public, and I do it too, complains about like, oh, why are you remaking this thing? Why are you doing it again, or whatever? Because there's a new audience that can experience this. Maybe you weren't young enough or around for Moana, and now you get to see Dwayne be Moana with an awful wig. You know, like, it's just giving it to a new audience. Does that take anything away from the original? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Watch that one. Love that one. That's fine. And same thing for the 800 iterations of Snow White and like all these other adaptations. Like, yes, would it be nice if they came up with new ideas? Sure. But then when, I'm really going on it today. Welcome to me bitching. When people don't go out to see the new products and they don't marketably do well, you can't then complain when they go back to the well because the well sells, you know? Like Hoppers, was fun. I had a great time with Hoppers. Is it like peak? Not the game. No, but but I had a fun time with it. So when we pick up Toy Story again, because we can't put it in the grave and give it a nice send off, you can't complain because this one's not doing as well as these are.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Especially because Toy Story's been every time I watch a Toy Story movie, it's like the writers are like, "This is the last one.
Yes!
I swear to fucking God."
Yes.
And there's like 3 more,
and they've
like,
nailed it each
so
time.
hard.
I can't, like blame them for that. But like, at one point. But also, I have to realize it's not for me. If I don't click with it, that's fine. It's for somebody else. Let them click with it. Okay, I got to get off the soapbox because we're going to be here for a while.
No, I want to give Mario a 36. I want to be angry about it, and I want to write about it on Twitter.
Oh, Twitter.
I refuse to call it. It's still Twitter. Okay,
It is.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the Mario. Do you have more news for us?
I have one last one, and this is a selfish one. No, not the soapbox. No official article or anything here. I'm just gonna speak for me. WWE 2K26 is changing up ringside pass after feedback and lash out from fans. So what has happened is 2K has heard fans' feedback of how the DLC this year was going to work for 2K26. How it initially was working with these ringside passes, the premium edition, is each pack included 4 downloadable superstars, which you had to grind and play matches to unlock them from levels 1 to level 20 in a 40 level like battle pass type system. 2K has heard the feedback and they've said, okay, we're not doing that anymore. So from Battle Pass or Ringside Pass 2 through 6, which are the remaining ones, you are now going to get all of the 4 DLC characters immediately at tier 1. You're still going to have the 40 tiers to unlock other goodies through by playing matches and whatnot, but those DLC additional characters are all going to be available on the day of the release of those packs. They've also tried to make good for Pack 1 and Pack 2. Players who are playing the game, I believe it's before April 13th, you will unlock 20 passes of the ringside pass automatically. I was playing this week and I was like, whoa, I'm already maxed out. Did I have a bug? And then I saw that this released. So as long as you start playing that game, you will get 20 passes for Ringside Pass 1 and 20 levels for Ringside Pass 2, if I'm understanding correctly, right off the bat to meet those requirements to unlock those characters. So yeah, I'm glad 2K's listening. There was a lot of blowback from this, as we had talked about in the past. Yeah, they tried something new. They got feedback about it, and, it is what it is. If this is a nice, healthy medium of, like, we're still going to do the battle passes, but you get the people right at the start, I'm fine with it. Like I talked about my experiences of the ringside pass so far in the battle pass system, I kind of like it. You get more in-game currency, you get things you kind of work towards, kind of makes it a little bit more incentivizing to play it, and not having the time restrictions of like a Fortnite and other games that do their battle passes, to just have it, you could play it whenever. That's nice too.
That's pretty cool.
So cool of them. Glad they have a healthy, feedback type thing from their audience and they listen. Could the audience also be a little nicer from time to time? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. That's the anonymity of, the internet coming into play, but just wanted to give an update there for any WWE wrestling fans who may have held off on 2K26 because of the changes. Seems like they're listening and will be making future updates. So yeah, that's all I got. TJ, what do you got for news this week?
That's great. I got a little bit of news, not too much, but speaking of Twitter, our favorite website, according to Gaming Industry Insider, EXTS1S, because I'm not going to try and pronounce that, on Twitter. The reveal of Persona 6 could happen this year,
Oh.
with the upcoming Xbox Game Showcase on June 7th being a possible place for Sega to showcase the next entry of the Persona series. The insider pointed to Atlus and Microsoft having a multi-year partnership and said that Atlus has used the Xbox Game Showcase in previous years as a platform for announcing some of its game projects. Persona 4 Revival was the most recent example, as it was officially revealed during the 2025 Xbox Game Showcase. Xtas, or whatever, however you pronounce the name, also added that they did not originate this rumor. They're simply passing it on. So they're saying that they have heard of this before. That's very exciting. I still need to finish Persona 5, but I would love for Persona 6, so maybe I can jump into the ground floor when the community did, because I played Persona 4 when it first came out. And that was very awesome playing that and being able to talk to people and stuff like as the game was developing and coming out. Not everybody had mined the game for all of its content yet, so I'm hoping that Persona 6 does come out next year. I'm hoping it gets announced this year, but we will see. They'll probably announce another Persona 5 game.
It's a popular entry.
Yeah, I thought Persona 4 was popular with all of its spin-offs, and then Persona 5 came out, and I was like, boy, was I wrong. This one's related to you a little bit because you, my friend, are a proud owner of a Switch 2. And in its latest March 30th update, Mario Kart World has received a new Bomb Blast variant of Battle Mode. This Battle Mode gameplay type first appeared all the way back in 2003 with the release of Mario Kart Double Dash, and was later available at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That was actually a big selling point of Deluxe for me at the time, before they added like 5,000 tracks. They added Battle Mode from the Wii U version, because I did have the Wii U version, because I did have a Wii U. So that was a big thing, and I love Bomb Blast. It is my favorite battle mode. Have you ever played Bomb Blast before?
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't remember specifically which ones, if it was Double Dash or if it was on the Wii, but yeah, for sure.
Double Dash was absolutely my favorite with Bomb Blast. Like the Luigi's Mansion, when you'd be careening around a corner and bombs going off. And, yeah, you could yeet those bombs too. You could really chuck them. So there was one map, I forget what it was, like a pie or something. It was like a gelatinous cake in Double Dash, and you could yeet the bombs so far you could throw them all the way across the map over the cake. So I'd be seeing where they were driving around, and I would just start throwing the bombs ahead of them, and they would run into the bombs. It was incredible. What a game mode. So I'm glad that's in Mario Kart World. That does entice me a little bit, honestly, because that is my favorite Mario Kart content. Especially if it's there's an online mode for that. Oh, I'm gonna be throwing some bombs. You better believe it. Speaking of physical releases and things, though, Cyberpunk releases a physical vinyl as a part of the 19th Store Day, an event in which over 300 independent shops across the UK and Ireland come together to sell exclusive physical media. Singer Olivia Dean is the official ambassador of the event this year, which also featured special soundtracks from other big names like Pokemon and Undertale. This particular record, created by Angel of Man, wasn't actually part of the original game soundtrack, but instead was built from the ground up as a, quote, love letter to the world of Cyberpunk 2077. It's called Cyberpunk Ronin. So if you were into collecting vinyls, that is a cool piece of vinyl you could collect. Big fan of Cyberpunk 77, so 77, Cyberpunk 2077. So Cyberpunk 77 is the medieval version, and it's brutal. No, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, especially since I used to collect records. That was pretty neat. A selfish one for me, in a new blog post detailing how to optimize Marathon's PC performance, Bungie reassured players that it will keep updating and improving the game well into the future. According to the post, the devs are, quote, in it for the long haul, unquote, and look forward to many years of steady improvements across all aspects of the game. So that is good to hear, especially because I just bought it. So it's good to know that my $40 investment's not going to go down the drain immediately, a la Concord or something. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to more Marathon. I'll talk about that more in our next segment, but I have been enjoying the game. So the fact that they're going to continue to update it is great news. Especially because I just think it's a good game. I think the combat and the world they built is pretty cool. So speaking of the Mario movie, though, this was the post that I had ready for it. It's kind of a non-story because the story is, well, I'll tell you afterwards, but In the lead up to the first sequel's premiere, Charlie Day said he would be thrilled to star in a spin-off that captures the creepy nature of one of the best games released on the GameCube. In an interview with Screen Rant alongside co-stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Keegan-Michael Key, who will be reprising their roles as Peach and Toad, respectively, Day was asked if he would be interested in playing Luigi again for a Luigi's Mansion spin-off, confirming that he would be happy to take the role if it was offered to him. Yeah, it'd be a lot of pressure, he commented, before adding, but if they do it, I'm in. So why I consider it kind of a non-story is because actor says he wants job, and it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I'll make money, sure.
yeah, yeah. It's like I saw another news article where I forget what actor it was, but it was like actor changed his mind on MCU, says he'd be thrilled to be in the movie. It's like, well, yeah, I'd also be thrilled to be in this. Yeah. I think anybody would. It's, you get a $1 gazillion and an action figure made out of you. Yeah, fucking put me in there, buddy. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. So yeah, kind of a non-story, but I just think it's cool that's in the news cycle because hopefully maybe they'll do a Luigi's Mansion movie, and that would make me very happy. There's 3 Luigi Mansions games, so there's a lot of history and lore and stuff that you can do. Pretty cool. I would love to see Professor Egatz on the big screen. They could get Danny DeVito. Oh my God, they should get Danny DeVito to be Professor Egatz. Okay, now I'm into it. Now we gotta make this movie. In its 1.100 patch, Crimson Desert seeks to tackle some of its biggest complaints by updating its controls and inventory system. Controls have been a big detractor of the game, according to fans, since launch. One of the reasons I did not pull the trigger on Crimson Desert was actually the controls. I was watching people play it and stuff, and apparently on controller even, you'd have to like hold down a button and then push another button and stuff, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm doing that shit. So apparently they're updating the controls. They've heard feedback and stuff, so it is good that they are listening to feedback and trying to correct some of the biggest issues in the game, because apparently it's not even better on keyboard and mouse. Like if you play keyboard and mouse, it still has controller issues. You're still having to hold down certain keys. There are certain keys that are far away from, the WASD and stuff. So it's a mess controller wise, but I hope if they can fix that, that would be great, because the combat looks really fun and the exploration looks fun, and people are still playing this game. People are still talking about this game. So maybe it'll have a long tail into the future, but I really need them to update those controls before I personally jump into it, because I'm pretty bad with controls to begin with. So the more you can streamline it, the better it is for me. And then my last piece of news is that Arc Raiders server had a server issue on April 2nd, but the developer Embark was quick to react and return players lost loadouts. So they were good to go ahead and do that and refund those players those items and stuff. I just think that was pretty cool that they did that they actually took the time to do that, just because the server went down. Most games would be like, well, sucks to suck, the server went down, we put the servers back up, but they were like, no, would you lose, we'll give you that back. So I thought it was pretty cool that the devs are like kind of listening to the community a little bit as well. Yeah, that's all I had for news. Now we're gonna get into the segment called Hey Man, what are you playing?
Hey Man.
So Bret, what are you playing?
I got quite a few to shout out this week. I'd say more quicker touch upon type stuff. Over on the stream side of stuff, I did jump into Far Cry 6 and we started that out. I've been enjoying my time with it so far. It's a beautiful game for sure. I'm enjoying what they're setting up with the kind of rebellion story that Danny, right, is the main character.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Danny.
That she's dealing with, and obviously the people around her. Intro Island was interesting. I mean, it's a tutorial, so sometimes they can lag on, but yeah. Now that I'm in the open and balls rolling a little bit more, I'm seeing a lot of similarities to kind of shout out like Far Cry 5, how it's got its kind of region area. It seems like 6 does a similar thing. I don't know if it has the resistance points aspects just yet. That 5 did. No. Okay, good. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. One thing that I don't know if I'm just kind of glazing over it, as I do sometimes with like reading too fast or not absorbing all the information. The crafting system hasn't caught me just yet. Like I made that surveyor, that like backpack type thing. Haven't used it once. I've just been pew-pewing away with my little sniper rifle, which I will say, chef's kiss, that sniper rifle. And then it could just be early stages too. Like, I wish things were labeled a little bit more clearer. They have nice indicators of, like, on your mini map, a red blob, so you know, oh, there's an enemy in this area. And I appreciate that because I just like picking off everybody as I'm going along. But I've reached a few areas that are like mini settlements, and the map is red, so you're like, oh, you're going to be trespassing in this area. It's danger. To me as a player, maybe it's just because of the other Far Cry stuff carryover. I'm like, I feel like I should clear this, but there's no clear indicator of like how to get rid of it. So I don't know if it's just like, this is a generic enemy area, you don't have to worry about like clearing it from the map type thing. But I've stumbled into quite a few of those. So it's just confusing to me of like, okay, which ones do I know I can clear? Which ones are just these generic areas, if that is the case? So that's been a little interesting, but I'm looking forward to jumping into more in these coming weeks for Far Cry 6.
Yeah, and I will say with the crafting system and I know I glazed the inventory system, the arsenal system, quite a lot. I didn't really that shit didn't click with me until like 20 hours into the game, and I don't want to be one of those guys where it's like it gets good after 20 hours.
Oh, sure.
I'm not saying it gets good after 20 hours. I'm just saying some of the intricacies of the systems start to show themselves more. The more you're out in the open world, the more you're using it and stuff. And I will say also, one thing you should look out for that's I think is new in this Far Cry, and I could be wrong, but there's a lot of FND chests or FDN. I
Yep.
forget what they're called.
Yeah.
It's FND, I think. And in the chest, you get a gun.
Yeah.
Oftentimes the red chest. And the thing with the guns in Far Cry 6 is once you unlock it, you can choose it from the menu at any time in any of your arsenal slots. So you have that gun forever, and you're essentially always carrying it. So unlocking different types of guns and stuff was really cool for me. Trying to find all those FND chests, that was a big part. And once you start rolling and you found a bunch of them, then you'll have 20 guns in your inventory, and that's when you start fucking around with the arsenal system a little bit more once you have more to work with. But right now you've got your sniper rifle and you got your other stuff and you're good to go. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've been trying to keep an eye out for those chests as I've been exploring, because I did think it was, at least how it was presented, it was a collectible aspect, which you saying it's the guns to your arsenal adding, that makes sense. I had something and I lost it. Oh, okay. I think this also could be a me problem. I do this with a lot of games where I get into my set rhythm and I'm like, I stay in my box. I don't explore much outside of that box. And sometimes that leaves me playing games, never touching certain mechanics. A recent example I can think of is Lies of P. When I played through that the first time, never used the Legion arm. It was there, they introduced it, and then I didn't explore it. When the DLC came out, I finally poked in there and messed around. But yeah, I'm weird where I get into a rhythm of like, this is working, and I don't do that experiment game. Like, oh, I want to mess around with this, see how that works. I want to mess around with that, see how that works. So I think with the sniper rifle, I know I keep shouting that out, that working for me, and I'm just like, ping, 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 just clearing people out with that. I'm like, I don't need to worry about anything else. But maybe with time, there'll be a scenario where I'm like, okay, this isn't working. I got to try something new.
Yeah, especially with I noticed in my arsenal system, I had one set for vehicles, and I was constantly having to switch that set because you will be fighting tanks and helicopters and things like that, and your sniper rifle's not going to do shit against that.
Makes sense.
But also, I will say, even if you have a favorite gun, I had it wasn't a sniper rifle, but it was like a bolt action rifle was my favorite gun. I like those semi-automatic rifles like that. They're fun. But you could even within your favorite gun, there's the variation of the ammo types.
Yeah.
I heard you talking on your stream. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have to change guns for different enemies and stuff. Different enemies don't really require different ammo types, except for the heavily armored ones. You definitely want to try and put the armor piercing on. It just speeds it up way faster.
Sure.
But you can change between the 4 ammo types just by pushing Y, I'm pretty sure, on the Xbox or something like that. So you can very easily change up what you're doing with your sniper rifle on the fly.
Okay.
So you can do experiment. You're like, oh, let me get a poison round in here, shoot this guy, he'll shoot his friend, I'll cause some chaos and then I'll go around the other side. Whatever the fuck the scenario is. I'll light him on fire with the incendiary rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just you can switch back and forth like that. And even with your one gun,
Okay.
you can get that variation. And also I like that the gun customization. Like with the one gun that I had, I put a different skin on. I had a different little trinket on there. I had a little baseball, which I thought was cool. So I don't know. If you have a favorite gun, Far Cry 6 is probably the best Far Cry for that to happen because you do get a little bit of variation and you can get the little trinkets on there.
So like I said, looking forward to more of that on stream. And then some quick ones. 2 have actually shouted out as future titles for myself that I finally jumped into. I tried out Clover Pit last night. This is the another pit, this is the Balatro-like, roguelike, fucking slot machine game.
Oh, okay.
It's got a spooky vibe to it. You are just a dude trapped in a cell, and you need to just keep paying off higher and higher and higher debts by playing a slot machine. If you don't meet your quotas, then you get dumped and killed, and you do it again. Very simple mechanics, but there's depth to this game. There's a lot of charms, which kind of act as like the jokers that Balatro had, and modifiers that you can equip. And every time you reach a debt where you've paid it off, you get like 3 rounds to try and accumulate enough coins and money to deposit into this ATM to pay off your debt. Every time you do that, there's a phone in your cell, and that will also ring, and it gives you 3 choices of modifiers there to try and help you out with bonuses or higher payouts and whatnot. So there's a lot of depth in this game of like what options there are. The little trinkets I talked about earlier, you can spend like these tickets that you can acquire to get them. And there's a bunch that you can unlock based on like meeting certain criteria. And they all have various effects as well. So I only played maybe an hour and a half of it. But the gameplay loop is there, and I like to jump into it and try and experiment a little bit more. I don't know if it's like like an inscription where you are learning more of like what is going on and why you're in the cabin for inscription's case and why you're in the cell here. I don't know if there'll ever be that, or if it will be just like a Balatro where it's just like chase the score, go, 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 go type thing. Hopefully there's that element of story, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's cool. Sounds fun.
Yeah. One I shouted out last week, Slay the Princess. I did jump into for a few hours, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. It's very chill. If you guys missed it, what Slay the Princess is, this is just coming from the back of the box. Choice-driven, psychological horror, visual novel dating sim. Fully voice-acted with evocative hand-penciled art. So yeah, essentially the gameplay or the game objective is what is in the title. You need to kill the princess. Why do you need to kill the princess? Because she is going to quote unquote end the world. What does that mean? You don't know. So you pop into the game and it's literally a narrator narrating your journey. And he's like, all right, so you got to go to this cabin and you got to take care of the princess and the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. And then your hero is just like, you have so many options. You could just go brutal and just go in there. You can question what's happening. You can try and be peaceful about it. But what I love, oh man, and it's like, how far do I want to talk about this? Because I had that moment of like, oh, that's what we're doing. It was kind of like this eureka moment. So if you don't want any spoilers for Slay the Princess, I'm going to say skip a minute. I'll try and go quick. All right, ready? Go. Okay, so you go in, what I did is I decided to attack the princess. She actually is violent and she ends up killing you. You respawn and you remember what's happened. You have like multiple voices in your head of like your past experiences, and they're all yelling at each other and yelling at the narrator like, you're not telling us things, you're doing this, why are you secretive? And you do that for 3 chapters where you go through this cycle, make your various choices. And then at the end, it's like this very strange, euphoric, like no time, no life, anything, but you and this princess entity are like talking to each other about like how you resolve the problem. And then you reset and you do it again from the beginning and try and make different choices. And you're trying to kind of learn more and more information to piece this mystery fully together at the end of it. So in terms of gameplay, very intriguing, all the different choices you can make. It's not too stressful in terms of like you got to act fast. You can take your time, really go through all your options, think it over. In terms of the horror stuff, they do give a lot of warnings at the beginning, which I appreciate. Their kind of transparency with the audience. Like, hey, we have a list of stuff at this website of things you could experience. Please check it out if you feel like you need to kind of, you know, give yourself a heads up. I didn't look at that list in particularly. The art I've seen, a little unsettling from time to time, but nothing where I've been like, oh my God, I'm shaking in my boots type thing.
Right.
Granted, there's a lot of things to do in this game, so maybe I just haven't hit that quite yet. But beautiful art style. I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm enjoying my time. And yeah, I'm really glad that I picked it up and I decided to give it a chance, because that story, like I said early on, I was like, oh, this just really got the gears going of like, this is really cool. I'm glad or happy about what you're telling me in this story, and it's making it intriguing. What makes me want to keep playing. So happy I've tried that one out.
That sounds like a cool narrative hook or story for sure.
Yeah, very much so. And then on the same vein, only in terms of title, I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire again. I just have needed something to turn my brain off of and go with. So I've been playing Slay the Spire. I probably put another 8 to 10 hours in alone this week. TJ, I'm getting so frustrated with this game. Not really. I told you how I beat the game with each of the 3 main characters, or at least, you know, completed a run. And I told you, it's like, oh, there's a whole nother layer to this where you can replay it again, and you have to collect like 3 fragments along your beating it again. And in order to progress, you want to get all 3 fragments and then beat the final boss in Act 3, and then you kind of get some post-game stuff. So I've been chasing this high of doing this damn thing since 2 months ago, whenever I told you about this. So I've just been running the defect over and over and over and over again, because I love the orb mechanics. I love everything he's got.
Defect's the best, yeah.
This week, twice, I made it. I got all 3 fragments, and I made it to the final goddamn boss of Act 3. And I died. I was like, no!
Oh, wow.
Because for the longest time, I kept making it not even past Act 1 or like barely into Act 2, and I would die.
Yeah.
Which baffles me, because obviously I had beaten it prior. Not that I was like clearing it super quickly or anything. Like, it took a little while for each character. I believe the Ironclad was the luckiest I got, where I told you I beat it in like my 4th total run or whatever. It's just like baffling to me, because it doesn't seem harder, but like how I'm not making it any like really far, any of these, I'm like, God damn it, what is going on? So I've been enjoying my time with that and zoning out and jumping back into that. I have enjoyed it so much that I have purchased Slay the Spire 2 and would love to play it with you sometime.
That's gonna be one of my comments. We gotta play. Yeah. I've fallen off the Slay the Spire wagon, but I gotta get back onto it. Especially with multiplayer, I think could be lots of fun, because I've seen people do stuff where it's like, hey, you do all the defensive stuff and I'll do all the attacks, so you can do kind of some crazy combos like that, and that's really cool. Because usually in runs I don't favor defense that much, because I'm like, well, if I can just kill him quick enough, then I don't have to defend.
Yeah.
So now being able to be like, no, the defensive stuff actually matters a lot, and you can pair up with your partner. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say I gotta take your word for it on the fragment part because I just don't get that far in Slay the Spire
Sure.
1. I just am not that good. I feel like it's like Enter the Gungeon for me. Enter the Gungeon is my favorite roguelike of all time. But as far as I know, there's nothing past Act 3 because I cannot get past Act 3 to save my life. And I've put hundreds of hours into that game. I just run out of ammo or I run out of health.
Hmm.
I start taking some stupid hits because it is a bullet hell, and you're like, I shouldn't have taken that hit. I start taking some dumb hits, or I fall into some pits, or yeah, it gets pretty brutal in Act 3. I think that's the one with the mine carts. That could be the second one. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but yeah, that always fucks me up really bad. So as far as I know, Enter the Gungeon, nothing past Act 3. As far as I know in Slay the Spire, nothing past the end boss. Because I sometimes, occasionally, I can beat the end boss. I've beaten it with every character,
Okay.
but just the once. But I've not like progressed past that
Oh,
basically.
okay. So
And it's been few and far between that I've done that. It's most of the time I get to about Act 2 boss and I die.
oh, okay. So you have okay. So you've beaten Act 1 with everybody, but not the
Yes.
3 acts. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so not very far. So I'm just I'm still building my skills. Hopefully I don't bring you down too much in Slay the Spire 2, but I feel like I'm getting a little better, and especially if I use the Necro Binder,
Mm.
will be good because I can apply Doom. You can do whatever you want with the defect or other characters and stuff, and we can make it work. So I'm glad you bought Slay the Spire 2. We got to play sometime.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I haven't opened it or anything. I've just been zoning out on PlayStation with Slay the Spire 1. So, yeah, whenever we have a chance, we'll definitely have to jump into that and we can share. Well, I can share my first experiences and we can talk the multiplayer at a future
Yeah.
episode.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for those updates, and thank you for
course.
buying Slay the Spire 2.
Yeah.
'Cause, now I don't have to use my channel points to make you to play it. That's great. I'm glad that you like Slay the Spire 1 enough to buy Slay the Spire 2. That was a good channel redemption point on my part because I just thought I was like,
Yeah.
you just need to play this game. I think you would like it.
Yeah, I think my PlayStation clock says I've played it 75 hours in total. So, yeah.
I can't whistle
Thank you
anymore,
very
but
much.
phew. Yeah. That's great. Well, I have been playing a couple of games, mostly 2 games. I'm not going to put the X up as a joke this time, even though I really want to. I've been playing more Marathon, and I have actually, this might be the first or second episode that I've ever done this. I actually played what are you excited about playing next? I actually played that next game this time, and that would be Arc Raiders. I went and purchased Arc Raiders. It was on sale for $30, so thank you. What was that studio called? I have it right here. Thank you, Embark, for putting that game on sale. Hard not to compare these 2 games because they are both extraction shooters. And now that I've played them both, I've gotten more of an idea of what an extraction shooter is, like what the formula is. The contracts and things are very much part of both games. Although I will say I like Marathon's contracts more because you level up with the contracts, but also when you're playing the game, in the corner of the hub, they actually have the objectives that you need to complete on the top of the screen, whereas in Arc Raiders they're not on the top of the screen. So I'm like, what the fuck am I doing again? I oftentimes forget. Then you got to go into a menu, and then a drone shoots you in the ass, and you don't want that. So, and that is what you're fighting in Arc Raiders. It is PvPvE, and the environment that you're fighting is drones. A lot of drones, like drones as we would understand them, like flying, like for helicopter blade things, and they are pretty brutal. It's pretty hard. I think the Marathon robots are a little bit harder to kill, but yeah, I would say in Arc Raiders the PvP aspect is not as high because most people that you see, there is a don't shoot button basically. You just hit up on the D-pad twice and it goes don't shoot, don't shoot. And I've been doing that to everybody because I just don't want to get in a fight. I'm just trying to get my shit and get out of here. And everybody's been super nice in Arc Raiders. Nobody's really started a fight. I've been killed one time by a player, and that was it. Otherwise, all the players have not killed me. I'm also wearing like the starter appearance,
Sure.
so maybe I look like a noob, and they're like, let's not shoot this level 2 guy. But in Marathon, They do not care. It doesn't matter if you're level 1 or what. Your ass is getting lit up immediate on. It's on site in Marathon. It's you are donezo. So, it's cool that in Arc Raiders there's that cooperation a little bit to fight the drones. And there are a variety of drones, and like there's like massive ones and shit, and cool ones that are like shooting flamethrowers and stuff. Um, but the problem I have with Marathon is kind of the problem that I have with Battle Royales a little bit, where I'm spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes looting, getting shit, and then a player comes up to you and goes, "Bop, bop, bop, bop," and then you're dead. And you just wasted 15 minutes of your life for no fucking reason. Because you just die in like 2 seconds, and you spent all that time doing that. So that's kind of an issue that I've had with Marathon. Maybe I need to get good, as the kids would say, but or just like listen out for other players more. Um, that's another thing that Arc Raiders does better, separating the environment enemies from the player enemies. I know when I'm encountering a player in Arc Raiders. In Marathon, half the time I'm like, is that a robot or a person? And so every time a firefight starts, I'll have to call out on comms and I'll be like, it's people, it's human beings. Because the robots that you're fighting are also humanoid, and oftentimes firefights happen from far away. So you're just seeing like muzzle flashes and stuff. So you're like, is that a person or is that a robot? I have to ask that question almost every time in Marathon, whereas in Arc Raiders, I'm immediately like, that's a player, that's an enemy. So that's pretty cool. Um, what I didn't expect in Arc Raiders as well was that you can create your own character, which is pretty cool. They had a pretty decent selection of stuff. They didn't have a very good section of hair, I will say. I went with the balding one because for me, but they didn't have like a huge selection. They had like literally like 8 pieces of hair or something, or like 6. Very limited, but the character creation itself was pretty good. They had a good amount of faces and stuff. And I thought that was interesting. It's interesting how in Arc Raiders you create your own character and you get a skill tree as well that you level up, and it's got branching paths. I think there's a 4th one that maybe I have to unlock, but as far as I can see now, it's like 3 branching paths, and in those branching paths they branch out from there, and then those branches branch out. So you can really select some different unique abilities and stuff. I'm prioritizing right now like the strength one. So it's like when I get shot, I generate stamina so I can run away better. That's basically my plan. If someone shoots me, I'm gonna run. Um, and then in Marathon, you don't create a character. You have the like the hero shooter thing where you're selecting characters that have preset abilities. Um, but the contracts that you complete kind of fulfill the skill tree aspect, where you're still upgrading permanently all of your shells across the board, like your shields or your stamina or something. So it kind of is a skill tree depending on how you do the contracts, whereas Arc Raiders is just like a straight up skill tree. Um, so I don't know if extraction shooters are for me or not. I'd still have to. I literally have. How much have I played Arc Raiders? Like it's been a busy week at work, so I have not played a lot. Oh gosh, I'm in the wrong part of Steam. Hold on, this might take me a second. Arc Raiders. I played for 105 minutes. So like, I can only have so much of an opinion in 105 minutes. You know, it's a deep game, but so hopefully I'll play it more. I haven't played it with friends yet. Whereas I have played Marathon with friends. And Marathon's a lot of fun with friends. Not so much solo queuing. Arc Raiders, pretty fun solo queuing actually. I had a good time. So, yeah, hard not to compare these two games. Like I said, they are both extraction shooters, but it looks like Arc Raiders is going to be a game that lasts into the future, sustains because it has a very large player base. It's very cool. I like a lot of skins. Oh, also, it is in third person. I don't know if I mentioned that. It is in third person, where Marathon is first person. The shooting in both is really solid. I'm going to give the edge to Marathon, though, just because of the Bungie pedigree of first-person shooters. Like, the guns feel so snappy. The shooting feels so good. You could take the shooting in Marathon out of an extraction shooter and just put it in a traditional FPS, and it would be one of the best FPSs on the market right now. Like, that's how good it is. Arc Raiders shooting is very good. It's just not up to that level. But I still feel the same way. Where like, it's as good as like, I don't know. Have you ever played Remnant or Remnant 2? They're like Dark Souls like third person shooters, which is a weird combination.
Yeah.
But they're very fun games. I feel like I mean, and the shooting is what's the bread and butter of Remnant. That's like the whole crux of the biscuit. So I feel like the shooting in Arc Raiders is at least as good as Remnant, if not better. And it's in an extraction shooter where necessarily shooting isn't your biggest thing.
Mm.
Um, what else? And Arc Raiders also the items make a lot more fucking sense. In Marathon, I have no idea what I'm grabbing. It's like the cubic transmodulator
Uh,
coagulant, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And you have a bunch of squares and shit in your inventory, and you're like, I have no idea what any of this is.
yeah.
Whereas in Arc Raiders, it's like a post-apocalyptic humanity thing. So it's like, oh, I'm grabbing old earbuds. So those are wires, and I can use those old wires to make electrical components. I'm grabbing old whatever floppy disks, and I can use that for this. So like the items make a lot more sense. I know what to grab and what not to grab when I'm playing Arc Raiders. Whereas in Marathon, I just end up grabbing everything because I don't know what the fuck they do.
Hmm.
And maybe, after I've played for 30 hours, I'll understand the items, but like, I don't want to do that. I feel like also extraction shooters are very grindy,
Hmm.
so maybe not the best with my current job situation to be playing these games because I don't have the time to grind like I used to. Like with Apex Legends, I didn't have a job when I had that game, so I would grind the shit out of that game
Yeah.
to get all the costumes and all the things and all the battle pass and stuff. And I just haven't found the time. Like I said, I've only played 105 minutes of Arc Raiders, which is basically nothing.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe my opinion is suited to change. We'll have to see next episode if I keep playing them. I think a big onus of playing them, to be honest with you, is Mike. He has both of those games as well. So playing multiplayer on Wednesdays or whenever is a big draw, just because, yeah, I'd like to play more multiplayer games instead of just playing Marvel Rivals all the time. But also, I don't know. I want to broaden my multiplayer reach, and I feel like Arc Raiders and Marathon is a great way to do that. I feel like extraction shooters are the future of shooters, at least right now. So
Mm.
it feels good to get on the ground floor of Marathon and to try and understand Arc Raiders with all it is. Does Arc Raiders intrigue you at all, or Marathon, or are you still kind of on the fence of extraction shooters? Do you have
Well,
any questions about extraction shooters?
a weird one popped in my head in terms of questions. So obviously you're looting all this stuff. Do you have a weight limit?
Yeah. You don't have a weight limit, but
Okay.
you do have backpack squares.
Ah,
So
inventory
like once you fill up
management.
the squares, yeah, once you fill up the inventory. But that's where it comes in where like each run you can take a backpack item and that'll improve your inventory space, but you only have so many of those and it
Hmm.
costs more to buy them in the shop.
Mm.
So it's and if you die then you lose that backpack. So there's that risk reward. So
Gotcha.
it's pretty cool. And Marathon does a better job of that actually because they have different types of backpacks. They'll have like an ammo backpack where it's like you can carry more ammo per block and also you reload faster. And then they have like a health one where you heal yourself faster and also you can have more heals per block. So like they have cool backpacks like that, which makes a lot of sense.
Mm. Yeah, I mentioned it last week. Like learning more about Marathon and your experiences with it, it did ring a bell of like, oh yeah, that does sound pretty cool. I think I would prefer the first person over the third person perspective in comparison. But yeah, it's just like still like a slight intrigue. I wonder if I actually like sat down and watched someone play it, if I would be like, yep, fully in, or if I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it does sound more enticing than what I had thought in the past. So I'm glad you're, having relatively good experiences with each. I totally get also your statement of like, loot, loot, loot. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
annoying. Nobody wants that. So, yeah, that I can see why that's a negative or a hang up, at least on more marathon side of things than arc. But glad you tried both.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened a lot in Marathon. In Arc, I feel like it's more like I loot, loot, loot. Then I go to an extraction point and there's robots in the way. There's like
Mm.
the drones, and I die to the drones instead of players. But at
Mm.
least I'm like, I feel like I have a fighting chance. And I'm like,
Yeah.
not. Yeah, and also the Arc Raiders maps are more open.
Okay.
There's a lot of open ground. So when you find shelter, it's like a big deal. Because when you're fighting, the drones are flying drones, obviously.
Yeah.
So getting in shelter where they can't fucking beeline you
Mm.
from the sky is like a huge advantage. So that was a really cool thing. Another thing I'll say about extraction shooters, I don't know if I like the idea of loading into the same maps over and over again. Now these are detailed maps with a variety of POIs and stuff, but like I don't know. Am I gonna get sick of these maps real quick?
Sure.
After like 10 hours, who's to say? I think there's 5 maps in Arc Raiders and a training one, and there's only 3 in Marathon. So Marathon's kind of lacking in content, especially compared to Arc Raiders. And I know Marathon just came out, in comparison, but like they should have launched with more maps, I think.
Mhm.
And maybe it is like the battle royale thing where it's like there's not a lot of map. Like how many maps were in Apex Legends? Like 4?
Right. That was, yeah, when you brought that up. Yeah, I think it eventually expanded to 4, maybe 5, but that was also, yeah, it would rotate. Ooh, I don't remember how often it rotated. I don't think it was every day. It might have been daily.
I think it was like hours. There was like an hour limit. It was
Yeah,
like every 8
so
hours or
hours.
something.
Yeah, you're right. And then it was swapped to the next one. But yeah, eventually you would cycle through. And obviously, if you're playing and not in that time swap, yeah, you're playing the same map over and over again, which I guess can be good because then you can make more defined strategies. I don't know with the contracts and whatnot if they're all in the same spot. So
Right.
that could be a plus and a minus. One plus for the strategy part of it. Personally, in my head, a minus of like, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again in the same exact spot. Like, jump down this ladder, go here, ba ba ba, bing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could,
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah,
And maybe like a battle royale, maybe it'll be like yeah, the details of the maps hold up, and then it's like a big deal when a new map comes out where it's like,
yeah,
oh shit, a new map, and then you suck that up for a couple months. So
yep,
maybe it'll be like that. I think time will tell. I just have to put more time into these games and let them linger more to see how the effects are gonna
sure.
take hold, especially with that repeated map thing. Maybe that's just not for me.
Mm,
That's left a sour taste in my mouth so far with extraction shooters, but like I said, I'll have to see as I keep playing them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's going to conclude what we've been playing, because I've been playing just Arc Raiders and Marathon. So now we're going to get into the mystery section. Brett, you like video games.
I mean, I relatively do.
You purchased recently a Nintendo Switch 2.
I did.
Which means that you are an expert in Nintendo.
You know it.
You are a Nintendo fan.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask you a series of true or false Nintendo questions.
Great.
You just tell me if they're true or false. I have a lightning round at the end, so you don't have to go super fast until the end one.
Okay.
The end 5. And I've broken these ones down into classifications, all different aspects of Nintendo. So the first one up is Nintendo's history and corporate facts.
Great.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, as someone who told you I didn't have a Nintendo console growing up.
Well, you do now.
Yeah.
So now you know. These are easy questions. Everybody knows these questions. Question number 1. True or false? Nintendo's original playing cards, Hanafuda, were used for gambling in the early 1900s. True or
Playing
false?
cards. True.
True. Hiroshi Yamauchi personally directed the design of the NES console.
That's not a name I remember. False.
Well, I'll give you that is false, but I'll give you the context. Hiroshi Yamauchi is the Nintendo president who was like, we should make video games, because they were a toy company that made playing cards. So and he was the one that was like, we should do video games.
Thank you,
He's
sir.
like legendary in the company. Yeah. Nintendo once attempted to produce a love hotel before entering video games.
Ooh. Man, Japanese audiences are very unique. I'm gonna go with false.
That's true. They tried to make a love hotel.
Wow, what a transition. Playing cards, love hotel, video games. What else is on their pedigree? Okay.
Yeah, they've been a company since the 1800s. So
Damn.
yeah. The first Nintendo console to use cartridges was the Famicom.
Is it bad that unlike Famicom was Nintendo? I didn't think it
Yes,
was.
Famicom was the original Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh, what does the Famicom run off of? Now I'm trying to think of like my local retro shop and like games that I've seen there, but obviously I don't have old stuff nor am I interested, so like I never give it the time of day. Just kind of passing. I'm gonna say true. They were like the black chunky ones.
False.
Fuck.
That was it was Color TV game series used cartridges or pre-built games first.
Okay.
So they used that first. But the Famicom, I would have said true for that one because that's like the first time they like mass produced the cartridges and shit. So that's kind of
Okay.
a shicey question, but it is what it is. Um, the Game Boy was Nintendo's first handheld console.
No, it was oh fuck. What was it called? Something Boy and not Kratos.
You thinking of the Virtual Boy?
No, Virtual Boy you put on your head. That was weird. I thought there was something else that. Well, I'm gonna say false regardless.
It was true. Okay, now we're getting into consoles and handhelds.
Cool.
Section 6 through 10. The Game Boy Micro could play original Game Boy games.
Micro.
Yeah, you remember that thing? That thing was awesome. I love the Game Boy Micro. I wish I had one, but they're like $1 gazillion now.
I bet. No, I don't remember that. I just remember Game Boy to Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance to Game Boy Advance SP to DS to 3DS. Going from there.
Okay, I will tell you that it was Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, Game Boy Micro.
Oh, really? There was a middle one there.
Yes, it came out after the SP.
Oh. And the question is asking if it could play cartridges from the Game Boy?
From the original Game Boy, correct.
If it's micro, the cartridges were decent size. Like, I'm going to say false.
That's correct. It is false. Yeah. That was the Game Boy Micro was like this big. It's very pocketable. You can throw it in your pocket, but the downside was you couldn't play the original Game Boy cartridges. You could
Gotcha.
only play Game Boy Advance games, but that was a big selling point at the time. It also has an incredible battery life. So really good handheld if you ever get a chance to get your hands on one. Something I have not gotten my hands on, or maybe I have. Who knows? We'll have to see. The Nintendo 64 Double D used magnetic discs and was released worldwide.
I'm sorry, repeat the question. My immature brain.
The Nintendo 64 DD used magnetic discs and was released worldwide. I'm sure it's the Nintendo 64 DD and not Double D. I think that was just a me thing.
Oh, crap. This could tie into your other quiz saying that Sony made the discs for someone prior to making the PlayStation. But I don't remember any N64s with disc versions unless this was a Japan-only thing. I'll go with my gut. I'll say true.
It's false. It's a Japan only thing.
Alrighty.
You were right. Number 8. The Game Boy Color could display up to 32,768 colors.
What? What? That's a lot of colors. False.
True. What if you were like, that's true, and I was like, actually, it's 32,769
We
colors.
just end the episode here.
Yeah, just end the podcast permanently. Actually, 'cause that'd be very bad. This one is a toss up, but the Wii U controller is called the Gamepad and features a touchscreen.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I just like to throw Wii U stuff in there because
Hell yeah.
Boo, boo, boo.
Shout out to Jacob McCourt, almost done with his Wii U collection, the whole library.
Yeah. I loved that console. It just didn't love me back. The Virtual Boy was monochrome green.
No, it's red.
Correct. That is a false statement because it was red.
Yeah.
Okay, on to games and franchises. Number 11, Super Mario Bros. 2 in the US was a reskinned Japanese game called Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic.
True.
True.
Still a great game, though.
Yeah. Fantastic game, and that's where we get Birdo from because they reskinned all the Doki Doki Panic stuff except for Birdo. So
Well, the Queen doesn't need to be reskinned.
yeah,
Trans
like,
icon.
right.
She's
Yeah,
amazing.
Like, just keep Birdo in.
Yep.
They're like, fuck it. That's a Nintendo character now.
Yep.
Number 12, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask uses a 48-hour repeating time cycle.
I feel like I remember the time cycle. My only thing I'm questioning. Have you ever seen that show, Actually?
No.
Oh, okay.
That sounds incredible.
It's fantastic. Shout out to Jeff Reg. He was on, oh God, this is old. The Wait What podcast I used to host, and we did a version of Actually. But it's a game where people read statements, and you have to go, actually, this part is wrong. It's actually this statement to like make it correct. It was a very fun game. I did awful at it.
Stop giving me ideas for segments because now it's gonna happen.
Hey, it was fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, circling back. I think I remember the time cycle, not that I played it, in Majora's Mask. I'm just questioning this 48-hour thing. So I'm going to say false, and then it's only a 24-hour thing.
False, but you went in the opposite direction. It's a 72-hour thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had 3 days to fuck around, which is cool. Number 13, Samus Aran is confirmed female at the start of the original Metroid.
False. It's revealed at the very end of the game.
Correct. Number 14, Earthbound is the international name for Mother 2.
Correct.
Correct. Number 15, Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest was developed by Nintendo EAD. If you get this one wrong, Mike will cry. So
well, I'm sorry, Mike. If this is the first, well, that sounds weird. If this is the first time I've upset Mike or made him cry, true.
False. It was developed by Rare UK.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're famously they're Rare games. I just want to also shout out that Diddy's Conquest, great title. Conquest, get it? All right, cool. Next question.
Is it Conquest with a K?
It
Mortal
is.
Kombat style, nice.
Yes. No, it's Kong Quest.
Oh, even better. Even better.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Whoever thought of that, raise. Characters and lore. Number 16, Kirby was named after a lawyer who defended Nintendo in a lawsuit.
The only Kirby I know is Jack Kirby from Marvel Comics, so I'm going to say false.
That is true. Fuck. Kirby's named after a lawyer. Yeah. I forget the lawyer's name, but it wasn't Jack Kirby.
No.
Number 17, Waluigi was introduced to be Luigi's rival in a Mario platformer.
No, his debut was in tennis, right?
Correct. It was in tennis. I'm glad that you know that because that's my favorite.
I think we said it. We talked about it in the past, but yeah.
Yeah, Waluigi's my favorite Nintendo character, and Mario Tennis on the 64, one of my favorite games of all time. Number 18, Tingle. Do you know who Tingle is?
I do know who Tingle is, yeah.
Okay, good. Tingle was inspired by a Nintendo employee who wore green tights.
I'm going to say true just because it'd be funny.
It's true, yeah.
Okay, good for you.
Good on them. Number 19, Fox McCloud was originally meant to pilot an airplane in F-Zero.
Oh no, now I gotta think of dates of when things came out. I believe F-Zero came out before Star Fox, because I can picture maybe
we'll give you the hint. I'm pretty sure F-Zero was, I don't know if it was a launch game for the Super Nintendo, but it was like in the early development cycles.
I was gonna say I can picture an SNES version of F-Zero, but Star Fox wasn't until 64 where they went and talked like that in the little corners.
There is an SNES Star Fox game.
Oh, there is? Oh, my bad.
Yes, there is.
Whoopsie. There's a reptile dude in F-Zero, but are there any other anthropomorphic animals? Ugh. I'm going to say false.
False. He was always just to be a Star Fox's pilot. He was never in F-Zero. Number 20, Donkey Kong Jr. is the father of Donkey Kong. Get this one right. Come on, please. Please get this one right.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of future editing. Just putting a glass shatter in my brain.
I'm like, what the fuck did I just hear?
Oh no. I'm sorry. Donkey Kong Jr. is the father of Donkey Kong.
Yes. Is that true or false, Bret?
Well, oh god. One of them is technically Cranky Kong, but I don't remember which game it is that Mario and him are fighting. Oh, son of a bitch. I feel like this is going to be a twist where I'm going to say no, because it logically doesn't make sense. So I'm going to say true.
It's false. You psyched yourself out. Donkey Kong Sr. is Donkey Kong's father.
No way.
Donkey Kong Jr. is the son.
Whoops.
It happens. None of us play Donkey Kong Country 3. It's okay. Okay, we're gonna get into obscure facts and the lightning round.
Because that last one was obscure.
That was an obscure fact, yes. This one I've asked you like 3 times. So you better get it right.
I'm sorry. Did you say this was the lightning round?
This is the lightning round.
Okay.
Yes. The NES zapper does not work on LCD or LED TVs.
That is correct.
True. Yeah. Animal Crossing: New Horizons was originally planned for the Wii U.
Oh, false.
True.
Damn.
Pikachu was originally intended to be the mascot for all Nintendo franchises.
False.
False.
Okay.
The Nintendo Seal of Quality was introduced after the 1983 video game crash.
Yeah, true.
True.
Sweet.
Yeah. Star Fox 2 was developed but unreleased until the SNES Classic Edition.
False.
True. Great. You did great. How many you got right? I don't know, because for the 3rd time, I forgot to tally them up.
That's fine.
So you win. If you would like to redeem this, message me in Discord later, but you will win 3 United States dollars currency.
Ooh.
For doing so well.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for taking my quiz. That was fun.
Thank you.
That was fun. And now we get into the next section, which is the last section of the podcast, which is just, hey man, what do you want to play next? So what are you looking forward to, Brett? What are you gonna play next?
Well, this title I was looking very much forward to because it was announced that it was releasing on my console of preference, the PlayStation 5. I have played a little bit of it on its PC release. Game ran fine on my end, but from a streaming perspective, it was choppy, and that's just more of a me thing. So I am happy to announce, because I didn't realize it released already, South of Midnight on PlayStation 5 is what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, beautiful game from what I've played. The story is fantastic. Following this girl through this kind of fantastical journey and environments as she's going through trying to reconnect with her mom, I believe, after a big storm. But yeah, I played it a little bit. Absolutely loved it, but it was something I'm like, this is really clicking with me. I want to stream it. So when the footage didn't come out super great, I was like, ooh, gonna put a pause on this, and luckily it's coming to PlayStation, which is already out. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I think I may actually be squeaking that into the stream schedule for Thursdays. So if you guys are interested listening, check it out.
Yeah, that's good, because as a fan of your stream, as a watcher, as a chatter, as it were, I loved watching South of Midnight. I would like to continue to watch that. You playing that, but yeah, was it technically having issues?
Yeah.
All over. It was a little difficult to watch, but it was cool. There's a giant talking crocodile and shit, and it was a cool game. I really enjoyed it, so I'd like to see more of that. So
Yeah.
I hope you do stream it.
Yeah, for sure.
The game I'm looking forward to is a little game by the name of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate.
Ooh.
I know literally nothing about this game besides the fact that it has turtles, and it is a roguelike. So let me read the thing at least. It is a TMNT Splinter Fate unleash the turtles in a roguelike quest to rescue Splinter from the Foot Clan, master ninja skills, unite in bodacious co-op gameplay, and conquer iconic New York City locales. It looks like Hades with your friends. So I'm pretty excited to try that out. I've actually already purchased this game because it was on like a deep discount sale during the spring sale. So it was one of the games that I bought. So I'm looking forward to giving this a check it out whenever I get a moment, because it looks fun, and I'm always down for another top-down roguelike, isometric roguelike in this fashion. And man, I love me some Donatello. So let's get it. Actually, I love multiple turtles, but yeah, it'll be cool to play. It's also gonna be cool to choose the different turtles in the roguelike runs. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun little twist on the genre. I hope you can choose the turtle and then a weapon. That would add a lot of variety. Because in like you choose a weapon in Hades. Because otherwise that means there's only 4 playstyles, which would be a little bit of a bummer. But I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm willing to see what the game has to offer.
Yeah, I wonder if there's other characters to unlock and play as. I mean, Casey's the big standout of like, would he be available? But I know with other games they've also had some other players available, like the female turtle who we always forget about. I know April O'Neil was available, I believe, in the other recent TMNT game,
Just
the beat
available
'em
in the
up.
beat 'em up.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So, yeah, I've heard that name thrown out a lot, but I haven't checked it out. So that's cool. Good shout.
Yeah. I hope it's fun. But that's going to conclude actually, it's not going to conclude the Relatively Gaming podcast. We have one more important thing.
Oh.
And that is, Brett, can you show the stream your sweatshirt? Because that is super sick. Is that Cult of the Lamb?
Yeah, it's my Cult of the Lamb from PAX. Yeah.
Yeah. That is sick as hell. That
Thanks.
is fresh. So.
Fangamer.com, not sponsored. Go check out their stuff there.
Fangamer.com. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll have to, because that's pretty cool.
A lot of good
check
stuff
it
there.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, now that's going to conclude the Relatively Gaming podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it, even if you watch for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or for the whole time. You won't hear the spiel, but we do appreciate you. Please leave a comment, a like, share it with your grandma, share it with your dog's Twitter. Do whatever you got to do. We appreciate you, and you all have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.